Proposals to help ease the CBILS debt hangover, confidence levels start to inch up, and changes in the rules means that businesses previously declined CBILS loans may be now eligible to apply. All of this in the latest Business Finance Bulletin. With businesses starting to trade again and consumers starting to spend, things are looking to calm down a little bit in the UK economy. However, we know there is a looming problem ahead in 2021. Now, as we know, many businesses, in fact 1.1 million businesses, have taken advantage of cash available under the CBILS scheme and the bounce back loans. Approximately £46 billion to date has so far been lent. Now, that's proved to be an important lifeline for particularly small businesses. However, there is a catch. It has to be paid back, and that's going to start to kick in at the end of Q1 going into Q2 2021, and people are naturally concerned about businesses' ability to suddenly cope with this increase in monthly outgoings. It is undoubtedly going to cause a bit of instability in the recovery next year. Well, moves are now starting to come together to try and put a plan as to how this can perhaps be treated differently to ease the repayment debt burden. Now, a group of finance companies and finance professionals branding themselves as the City UK have prepared a report and submitted it to the UK government last week with proposals on how they think this could be done. Now, they want the government to form something called the UK Recovery Corporation, and that umbrella organisation is designed to move all of this debt into different types of products. Now, the main thing that they are pushing, particularly for bounce back loans and CBILS loans less than £250,000, is something called the Business Repayment Plan. Now, what they're proposing is quite a really neat idea, is to take all of this debt and change it into a tax obligation. It'll be managed by HMRC, and repayment of those obligations will then match your taxable profits. So the idea is, if you have a really rough year, you obviously pay less because your taxable profits are down. However, if you have a good year, then you pay more. So it means that your repayments are going to match the ebbs and flows of your business. Because the key thing here, of course, is people really don't know how quickly this recovery is going to kick in. And so if businesses are going to be faced with a kind of fixed repayment next year on those debts, it's going to be hard for them to manage. So this idea of linking it to your business performance, I think, is a brilliant idea. And I hope that the government really takes notice of this, because otherwise we're going to be faced with a lot of small businesses going to the wall next year, and that's something that we don't want to happen. So let's see what the government reaction to this kind of proposal is, and of course watch future Business Finance Bulletin, and I'll bring you the latest news on how these ideas are being developed. As I mentioned at the start of the bulletin, businesses are opening their doors again, consumers are opening their wallets and purses and dusting off their credit cards, yet people are beginning to spend again. And this has been shown through all of the official figures such as the GDP or the gross domestic product figures, which has started to show a small increase. So it's all looking good, and this has certainly been reflected in small business confidence levels. Now, the latest report has come out from Hitachi Capital Business Finance. It's a quarterly report where they take a look at the state of how businesses are feeling about their prospects. And in this quarter, there has been a significant jump in businesses that are predicting growth. Now, in their last quarterly report, only 14% of businesses were predicting growth. That was down from 39% in the previous quarter. Well, the latest report shows now it's gone up from 14% to 27% of small businesses predicting growth. That is a massive jump. In fact, it's the highest quarter-on-quarter growth figure that they've seen in 5 years. Now, where is this confidence and prediction in growth coming from? Well, perhaps not surprisingly, it's the smaller businesses, the ones at the lower end of the market, the ones employing about 10 to 49 employees, really the backbone of the UK economy. Those are the ones that are saying that they are feeling most confident and are going to bounce back quicker. So, of course, this is really good news. So, as if you're a small business listening to this, really gear up, because now is the opportunity to steal a march on your bigger competitors. Cast your mind back to early videos that I was doing about the CBILS and the bounce back loans when I highlighted a little known rule that could trip up many businesses looking to apply for CBILS loans, and that was the rule about an undertaking in difficulty. Now, the European state aid rules say that if you were classed as an undertaking in difficulty, you would not be eligible to apply for CBILS. Now, what is an undertaking in difficulty? Well, under the rules, essentially it means if your balance sheet is in deficit, i.e. negative territory, or you're insolvent. Now, it was particularly hard on businesses who may have had a one-off event which put their balance sheet into negative territory. But historically, over the last few years, they have been profitable with retained profits, but those profits have been insufficient to get the balance sheet back into positive territory. As a result, the banks declined them under the CBILS loan scheme. Well, the European Union has seen sense now, and for certain businesses, it has removed this restriction on undertaking in difficulty. Which are the businesses that are going to benefit from this? Well, if your turnover is less than £9 million a year and you have less than 50 employees and you were previously declined as CBILS because your balance sheet wasn't strong enough, well, now you're allowed to reapply. That rule is gone. So it's going to be great for those businesses. Now, this rule starts to kick back in on the 30th of July. So you've now got a week or two to get your house back in order and to reapply to your bank or CBILS lender, and just remind them that this undertaking in difficulty rule is now gone and that you want your cash. So really good news. So keep an eye out. 30th of July, open your pack and get into the bank with all the information and apply for the loans that you are entitled to. Well, that's it for another bulletin. As ever, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please don't forget to give a like and a share and subscribe to the channel. So that's it. Look forward to being with you next time. In the meantime, have a great, successful, profitable and safe week.